Welcome, everybody, to the 10 Count podcast brought to you by bodyslam.net. I am Ty P. Across the screen from me is a J Star, and we are back here on a Thursday night because I had a little bit of delay yesterday, so I apologize for not showing up live on the Wednesday, but welcome to Thursday night, 10 Count podcast night. Justin, how you doing over there?
Doing great, dude. Getting ready for whatever snowstorm we're about to get this weekend. People are going crazy here. I'm seeing reports of 6 to 12, 12 to 18. I don't know what the hell we're going to get, but Sunday I should be available for a quick count because I think I'm going to be snowed in. So as long as I have electricity, which I'm praying to God I do, I should easily be able to get in a quick count on Sunday.
Yeah, I was going to say, pending the electricity and the fiber for the internet. Hopefully all those wires stay up good, and I will be available too. I can do it early. There's a side gig I have, and they are in New York, and they canceled it because of said snow. So I can be ready for an early morning quick count if we do it.
Sorry, you froze for a second. We do have something going on Sunday. You want to talk about it?
Oh, yes. Sorry. We do have something Sunday now. We are going we're going to be live on Hitting
the Turnbuckle
podcast. I'm very excited. We're going to talk Royal Rumble. Sorry, that totally blanked. I forgot it was this Sunday. But yeah, I'm excited, man. They got a whole lineup of people coming. I retweeted their tweet, I think 2 days ago. They got a nice lineup of people that they're doing interviews with, some wrestlers, some fans, and some podcasters like us. So yeah, definitely check them out. We will be on the Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, 3 to 4, I believe. Yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
It's okay. It's all right.
I was ready to go into some wrestling because Mr. Michael Hayes has me rattled with, if you watch the WWE Unreal, and I'm going to quote this. Before I quote it, Justin and I have always said, this is a pro Chelsea Green podcast, and it always will be. We are huge fans of Chelsea. We would love to have her on the show one day. I would love to ask her about the said quote that I'm going to say, but Michael Hayes said, and I quote, "She is entertaining, but she's not built for, nor should she be in a Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair role. She is there to build them up." Okay. Rant time. I know you're ready to rant. I'm ready to rant. I was so infuriated with this. They start off this episode. I'm sorry. Spoilers on episode 3. If you have not watched episode 3 of Unreal, I might be a little bit spoilery. It's not going to be too bad, but you can come back in 5 minutes and this conversation will be over. Starts off with Chelsea talking about her dream home, how she's building it. She's in Florida. She's happy. She's the workhorse. At this time, she's the United States champion, the first ever. And in this moment, she's about to drop to Zelina, which, upset her. But, she's a pro's pro. She does what she needs to. She makes, again, like he said, it's true. She makes everyone look better. But don't freaking dare. I want to use other words, but we're early on in the podcast. I'm not trying to, curse up a storm here. Don't you dare say she's only good to build those people up. That's some Vince McMahon era shit that I cannot stand. And shout out to Court, because Court even messaged me that I didn't have to bring it up. She's like, what is this bullshit about Michael Hayes kind of, burying Chelsea in this moment? And I'm surprised they used it, because that to me is like a slap in the face, because she deserves to be Miss Money in the Bank this summer in June or July, whenever they decide to have it. I think now they do it in June. But she deserves to be a future world champion. Shout out to James Ellsworth on Twitter going, like this tweet if you believe that Chelsea Green should be a future WWE or world champion for the women. And of course I freaking like that tweet. That tweet's garnered so many likes because she got over by herself. The fans freaking love her and she's a heel. And she does what she does at any gimmick to perfection. I mean, she talks about the match she had with Penta and what Penta brought out of her and how awesome Penta is, and that they'll never, hash that back because of how perfect their match was. And it was. If Chelsea wanted to be serious and put on a clinic, she could put on a clinic. And for Michael Hayes to bring up that bullshit set me off. So, Chelsea, if you want to talk about it, I would love to get your thoughts on that dumb mother, his remarks on you, because you didn't deserve that. You are 1,000 times better than that, and you will be a future WWE Women's or World Women's Champion.
Yeah, what else can I say? Like, we have these moments on the podcast where like either you or I will just pretty much say everything that needs to be said and there's nothing else to say. You're right. Chelsea will be a future world champion. She deserves to be. She has gotten herself over. We've been talking about her for now 2 or 3 years, I believe. And just I don't know if like Unreal has their own little side script of what they're trying to do. Like, I feel like even with the R-Truth, Ron Killings, and Triple H thing, like Triple H said, you know, he wasn't fired. They just weren't renewing his contract. And then Truth felt like it was a firing. Like, they want you to feel the differences, I guess. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to build up heels and heat for like the producers. And I don't like Michael Hayes was just grade A like example with that whole thing with Chelsea Green, because it's just wrong. It's not right. And I don't think if that's what he believes, then he doesn't know his new audience or the current audience at all.
Nope.
At all. And we have in the chat on YouTube, we have Matt saying, let's go. My bad, I'm late. No worries, bro. We're just going on a little rant right now about WWE Unreal and Michael Hayes just burying Chelsea Green.
Yeah, and we're a day late too, so we're right there with you. It's really unfortunate that mindset is still around, because I felt like in this day and age, right, if you get yourself over, if you put in the work, like, you get rewarded. And obviously we've seen Chelsea get rewarded. Second time reign as United States champion. She is AAA mixed tag team champion with Ethan Page. And maybe they knew this was going to come out, and that's why they, garnished her with gold, because now she's on NXT. She's on AAA. She's on SmackDown. So yeah, and that was the perfect episode to watch, because Michael Hayes is a jerk off for what he said about Chelsea Green. I would love to have him on the podcast and be like, why do you still have this mindset? Why do you think that there's people that just need to be, mid-card people that boost the main eventers? Because in my eyes, right, if you go to a job and you want to move up in the world, you go from the low-end job to the medium to the top of the top, right? That's what I feel like the track of a WWE superstar is. There are some people that are standouts. Look at Braun Breaker, look at Javon Evans. They can go right to the mid-card to top. But if someone's in there putting in the work like Chelsea Green is and making a name for herself, they shouldn't have to sit. People like when Cardona was Zack Ryder, when Cody Rhodes was Stardust and doing dashing, and he was doing when he broke his nose, like, they took gimmicks and made them gold, and they didn't get rewarded for that. And that's why they took their ball and left, and that's why they came back and where they're at now. And it's just a shame, because I really wish that mindset was left behind.
I also, Chelsea has gone on record saying that she annoys the writers and producers so much because she wants to work. Like, she asked to go to AAA. She asked to go to NXT because she wants to get better at wrestling. She wants to improve on her skill. She's great on the mic. She's great acting and all that stuff. She doesn't wrestle as much as she'd like to. So she's looking for these opportunities. And Michael Hayes has just got to realize, give her the damn opportunities and she'll improve. The only way to get better is by improving. And that now that there's house shows are becoming less and less and less, you have to do it live. And she's asking for it. It's not like she's like avoiding wrestling. She wants to be there. She wants to do it. So, I mean, you just got to book her better. Jesus Christ.
I know, it's true. And Matt, that comment, saw where they possibly ripped the rug under LA Knight with the Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm not going to say what I want to explain anything, but it might be quite the opposite. You'll have to check that out when that episode airs, or when you watch it, because I watched it, obviously. But yeah, I just think it's a shame. I'm glad they aired that, because you kind of know where some people lie in the producer world. And shout out to freaking TJ Wilson for being all over this season of Unreal, because they didn't really show him last season, and he's all over the episodes. I love it. I love seeing him. I love seeing his reactions. I love his interactions, especially because he did a lot of stuff with Becky, which was really cool. It was cool to see that he was a part of Becky Lynch's storyline and coming back. and Lyra Valkyria. It's just I really like Unreal, and I know Paul Heyman can't stand it, but I love that side of the business. I love seeing the writers' room. I love seeing them come up with things. Even if you saw the R-Truth stuff, right? You saw how Road Dogg went through kind of like a roller coaster of emotions, because it was this guy that they both had these feelings for each other, because Road Dogg picked him up, R-Truth up at his lowest, and Road Dogg was also at his lowest at that moment, and they lifted each other up. And Road Dogg wanted to see the best for R-Truth, and they were just like, no, we're going to treat this as a normal just John Cena R-Truth match, and it pissed Road Dogg off, rightfully so. But I'm just glad that R-Truth was able to have the moments he did. And dude, that shit was emotional. Like that was a really emotional episode. And that got me, man. I felt for Truth. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he has the contract that he probably wants. And he's, I know they're not using him as much anymore again, but I'm just happy he's around, because every wrestler they showed you tweeted about him. They wanted him back. Like, you can't touch him. I think even Cody said he's a no, like, you don't touch him. And that's rightfully so, because you used him for this comedic relief all these years, and he's delivered, and he's made the fans love him. And again, an organic love. Even if you didn't prop him up, at least he was giving another angle to these fans that had interest in him. So I am happy that he's back, and hopefully happy.
Yeah, I think Cody said like something along the lines of like, we'll pay it. Like, we'll pay his contract. Like, you're just bring him back. Like, that was like completely messed up. I mean, also, you want to talk about old heads. Bruce Pritchard wanted to see Pat McAfee beat Gunther. So it's crazy. Like, we discuss, how, just put us in the writer's room and we can give some ideas. But when you watch it and you do hear some of the ideas, like, some are great that they never use. And then some are like, oh, like, what the, and I understand that you have to bounce ideas off of each other. But I love Pat. I know you don't like Pat, but you can't have him beat Gunther. No. There's just zero. There's zero. No, it cannot happen. But like, if you go back to last year, I wish they did the Chelsea Green Royal Rumble thing,
dude.
Like, that was a genius idea. Genius. And maybe we'll see it a few years down the line. But now that it's out there and it's on Netflix, we probably won't. But man, like, there are some good ideas, and then there are just some really, really poor ideas.
It's funny because, like, with Triple H, when they bounce these ideas of Triple H, I feel like a lot of the producers are kind of like, the higher producers are kind of like short-sighted. They see the payoff now, and Triple H is looking for down the line. So, like, I hear these, like, right, Bruce Pritchard have Pat beat Gunther, and Triple H is like, so our dominant guy in the roster is going to now have to see the guy at commentary that beat him all the time, and he's supposed to beat the rest of the wrestlers. Like, make that make sense. I feel like there's a lot of short-sightedness because you want to look to the future. So, Hunter, if you want people that like the long game and can really think of good storylines, I think your boys at the 10 Count Podcast might fit very well in that writer's room with you. If you want it.
Hey, I will move to Connecticut right now if I have to. I will get an apartment. We'll figure it out. But speaking of TJ, I would love to get him on the pod. We got to figure that one out. But you said talking about Becky. Let's talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. We can get into Raw. We saw Natalia or Natty do a little backstabbing. What'd you think about that? Natty turning heel.
And you kind of called it. You kind of, foresaw this like a month or two ago when Maxine first won the championship. You kind of foresaw this happening. And I don't know, it just felt forced. It just, like, Natty shows up for the first time in a while, and she's sitting there at the ringside, and then the thing that kind of didn't sell it for me was when she just, like, took Becky's, like, put it on the rope and then just, like, folded her arms. It's like, okay, why? Right? Why did you do this? Maybe we'll find out next week, right? That's fine. But for it to happen out of the blue, usually when that happens, they tease it, right? They tease a falling out. They tease a breaking up of a tag team. They tease a breaking up of friendships. They look what they did with the Street Profits, but they never ended up breaking up, right? They kept teasing certain splits and everything. So for that just to happen cold turkey, was a little off-putting. But if they go the whole, Natty route, the living legend route, it will make more sense. It's a little confusing in this moment, but it can, come full circle. It then kind of poses the question, I guess, what are they going to do with Maxine, post Natty? Will she still be in the IC championship realm, I guess, post WrestleMania? Because obviously they want Becky to have it for Mania. It's, I think to me, it's getting more and more obvious that we're going to see an AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, Intercontinental Championship match, whether it's either at EC or WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to happen at the Rumble, but one of those PLEs, most likely WrestleMania. So I'm curious to see, when AJ comes back, how she fits in the fold, and will she be an Intercontinental Champion in WWE? That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, with the Natty character, obviously we had those vignettes of them in the dungeon training, and then once we saw Natalya come out, WWE TV needed a way to show or bring out the Natty character. You couldn't just have Natty out of nowhere come out and all of a sudden she's the low-key legend. So I was waiting for it. Like you said, 2 months ago or whatever, it had to be against Maxine. They've been training together. She's been working her ass off in the Dungeon 2.0 with obviously TJ and Natty. And this was just the way, I'm sure, like you said, we'll figure out why Natty did what she did, but now we can get the Natty character. Now Natty's a heel. Now Natty's a badass. She's already a badass, but now she's a real badass. And it's going to be her and Maxine for a little bit. You always see baby faces go over. I don't think we're seeing a baby face. I don't think Maxine's going over on this new Natty character. So I think Natty's going to put her down. And then, as you said, with Becky and AJ, I think that's locked in for Mania. I think that's one of the few things that are fully locked in, ready to go. We just got to see where AJ returns. Is it at the Rumble? Is it, like you said, Elimination Chamber? I don't know. But I do believe, like you said, there are reports out there that that's one of the solidified things for Mania.
Yeah, and as Matt said, they did a small tease before the match. And yeah, they did. I'm more talking about long term, more like weeks leading up. And I guess it was fast. It was too fast for me, in my opinion. And I think I called the living legend. Sorry, the low-key legend. I was like, that was wrong.
She is also a living legend, so you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But yeah, so I will be happy if they bring this character. I agree with you. You can't have her lose to Maxine. She did beat the crap out of Maxine. That was, they made her seem very brutal, as she's been with this character, at least in AAA. So I think Natty deserves a new look, a new gimmick, one where she can excel a little bit, and one maybe where she can become Intercontinental Champion. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, Natty, the character, now that she should finally be here on WWE television, you got to push her.
Yeah.
I don't know where you push her to right now, because obviously the IC title is going to be a little busy for the next 2 or 3 months, but you have to figure something out for her. You got to get a strap on her one way or another.
Yeah, down the line. I do want to talk to you about AJ Styles, Gunther. We know AJ this is his last year. He's retiring this year at some point. I didn't think it might be this soon. How did you feel when they kind of announced that at Royal Rumble it's going to be AJ versus Gunther with AJ's career on the line?
It's intriguing. I also don't feel like it could be this soon. We're in January, but people are saying that his current contract ends at the end of January. So it's wait, are we all mixed up here? But I still want to see AJ have one more Mania match. I want a full year, him retire in December like Cena did. So everything's lining up to where Gunther could snatch that career again at the Rumble, but I feel like it can't happen. So there something has to happen at the Rumble, because I'm not ready to see AJ Styles go out like that. Like we've discussed that it will probably be Gunther that does do it. And now that it's a possibility, it's kind of scary. But I mean, we still need to see AJ in TNA. So there's just way too many things that still need to happen before AJ really takes off the boots and puts him in the middle of the ring. So I don't know. It's intriguing, but I just don't see how AJ can lose.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about it because if they're going to pull the trigger, I feel like they can't do this match again, this stipulation again. So maybe they are going to have AJ retire on his own time if he wins this. But why tease, AJ staring at the TNA World Championship? He still has a lot in the tank. And for him to be gone in January, I don't know. Unless he's happy with that, unless he's fine with his contract not being renewed and he's just going to go off in the sunset. But I don't know, man. It
feels weird, right?
Yeah, it's bad taste in my mouth.
Something's not adding up. Like these reports come out that his current contract ends, like I said, at the end of January or early February. But then he said, in past interviews, he said like, oh, I probably have one more Mania left in me. And then, like you said, he's on TNA staring at the TNA championship. And we're seeing all these reports that during his final run, he will probably end up in TNA for a match or two. So there's just no way his career can end in 2 weeks. There's no way. So I either there's going to be outside interference, someone's going to help him, or he's just going to beat Gunther clean. And I mean, we haven't seen Gunther get pinned or tap out in a singles match in I don't know how long, since probably Jay, right? So, I mean, it can happen. I mean, we did see Gunther tap to AJ Styles last week. Just the referee didn't see it. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe we do see AJ go over clean on Gunther at the Rumble.
I hope so. I'm not ready for AJ to go. It's been 10 years. And that's the thing. It's going to be his 10-year anniversary that he's been in WWE, which is crazy, maybe that's why they're like, oh, 10 years of AJ Styles, now get the hell out. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's disrespectful, but I have so much more for him. Like, I want to see him wrestle for the World WWE Championship again. I want to see him, like you said, in Mania. I want to see him in Money in the Bank again. That would be cool if he had a chance to hold that briefcase and maybe cash in for one last title run. I'm not ready for it. I don't want to let go of AJ Styles yet. We just lost Cena, and a month later we're going to lose AJ. I think that's insane.
It just doesn't make sense. And I kind of wish that they didn't do this whole career angle, because it just, there's too many things that aren't lining up. And if this match was to happen, let's say in like November of this year, then, oh man, Gunther's doing it. Gunther is making AJ Styles pass out and then taking his boots off for him. Like, that's what I would believe. But it's freaking January. It's just, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. And now I feel like AJ's got to win some way, somehow, some shape or form.
But what if they go the shock factor value, right? Like, no,
they can't. They can't. There's no way. Like, there's just too much being teased. If they do that, that is so messed up on so many levels, especially to like TNA fans. Like, that's horrible. Unless like he's retiring from WWE and then he's going to finish up in TNA. But I don't see that happening at all. I see him just doing a match or two in TNA throughout the year. That's it. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I wonder if because Cena. So he said his career, right? So his career would be his whole wrestling career.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he could then go to TNA. I just want to know. Royal Rumble happens. AJ loses. He's gone. How do you feel?
Horrible. I'm very pissed off, and we will have a Michael Hayes, Chelsea Green like rant on the upcoming podcast.
Yeah, we will.
That would be horrible.
It's a Saturday night, right? The Rumble.
Yeah, well, Saturday afternoon.
Oh, you're right. That quick count the next day is going to be boiling.
I'm not even putting that out into the atmosphere. I find it weird that they did the whole angle with the career. It just doesn't line up for me. He can sign a year contract if his contract is actually up at the end of the month.
Yeah.
He's not going to AEW. He's not finishing in AEW.
No.
This is it. So all right, let's just not bring up the bad vibes anymore, because that will be a podcast for the ages if Gunther retires AJ Styles in January of 2026.
It'd be insane. How about, which dude, I was rolling. We're in Ireland. We have the Vision versus Ray, Penta, Dragon Lee, and our friends in Ireland are chanting Logan Paul's banned from Japan. Dude. What a chant. I freaking loved it. Matt says, does Gunther lose, get pissed, demand a rematch at Mania again for in contract? But that sounds, I don't know. I feel like at that point, Gunther could be like, I want a rematch, but I think we both put up our careers, and whoever wins, stays, and whoever loses goes. I could see that route happening, but I also don't want that to happen at Mania. I would like AJ to finish out the year.
Yeah, I mean, Mania is in what, 3 months, 4 months? It's coming up. So, and you can't do career versus career because Gunther's not retiring.
It's true.
So that just defeats that whole purpose. You know who's going to lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't like the whole career angle. But as you said with Logan Paul, I sent you that video of Logan mic'd up.
It's great.
Logan's awesome, man.
Dude, he's so good.
I love good. Logan Paul. He's talking about dragons. Like, oh, I know about dragons. I got a Charizard. Like that's, dude. The guy is money. The guy is complete money.
Yeah, dude. He's looking at us. They're like, now I'm out of breath. How do you feel? Or something like that. Oh,
no,
man.
but it was a solid match. I like that Ray used the brass knuckles against them. I'm more intrigued about Paul Heyman talking to Adam Pearce and saying, do you want to take this phone call with me? And then on Logan's vlog, Paul Heyman pretty much went to Logan and said, just got off the phone with a big man. And he said, oh, Triple H. And he's like, no, even Triple H doesn't want to talk to this guy. So I'm wondering who they're teasing. Is it The Rock?
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't Triple H want to talk to Brock?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be Brock. He's still around. Gunther's going to retire him in SummerSlam in Minnesota. That I can't wait for. He should be fighting Lesnar at Rumble for his career. I would be fine with that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I like I said, I honestly think it's Brock Lesnar. I think they want to bring in him as, the big time muscle to just wreak havoc, because, if Adam Pearce can put his hands on Braun Breaker and suspend him, then I think they want the Fist of Vengeance and Brock Lesnar to come and just smoke everyone.
Could be, but could it be your boy Dwayne? I mean, your boy Dwayne did not get any Oscar noms.
It's true.
So he should probably make his way back to WWE for a little bit.
I'd be fine with that.
I don't know. It's I don't know. I just found that to be like that tease to be very open-ended. Like some people were saying, oh, it's Vince. Vince is going to come back. And I was like, yeah, okay. Good luck with that.
TKO ain't touching that with a 20-foot pole. I'll say that much. They don't want anything to do with that.
No, not at all.
So I'm surprised Pritchard and freaking Hayes are still in the company. Still very shocking.
Well, it is what it is. And then obviously wanted to talk about El Grande Americano and Javon Evans. Hopefully everything's all right with Javon.
I heard that it was they were just going for concussion protocol, but they don't think it is. They're just being safe. So hopefully he's okay.
Oh, I didn't see that. So that's good to know. I must have missed that on X because it was a little scary.
Yeah.
And then obviously with him not being medically cleared at the end of the match, kind of, oh boy, because
he lost the gauntlet. He lost the gauntlet to the Americanos.
I know he did. I know. And then what did you think about CM Punk and Balor in Ireland?
Loved it. I love that Balor came out to his old theme song. I love that he also forgot his part in the entrance. He's like, oh, I couldn't hear it. It's too loud or whatever. And it's like, nah, like you're so like out of that entrance, which is fine. I didn't care. I thought it was funny that he forgot. But they put on a hell of a match. I think you see Punk say, Epic give me a hug to him or something like that at the end. It was a feel good match. The Irish crowd was all for Finn. They were booing Punk. Punk was playing into it. It was great. The match itself was awesome. The false finishes were great. Finn Balor needs a World Heavyweight Championship within the next year or two. I know they paid him a nice hefty new contract. What was it, last year?
Mm-hmm.
The dude deserves a world title because the only one he had was the Universal Championship, the first one ever, and he held it for a day because Seth buckle bombed him into the siding outside and destroyed his shoulder. So give that man a championship soon.
Yeah, you just answered my question that I was going to ask you was, did that match make you want to see Finn Balor have a run with the World Championship?
As much as CM Punk's Rock, CM Punk 1-2, as much as I love CM Punk, the vibe on Monday night, dude, I would have loved if Balor would have just won out as a shock.
In Ireland?
That would have been sick, dude. I would have loved every bit of that. But as Punk said, he's not ready to let go of this championship. People are going to have to pry it from his dead, cold body, his cold hand. So it's going to be a while before Punk loses it, probably Mania. But boy, if Finn would have won Monday night, I would have popped in my freaking bedroom over here.
And people, I think it was actually Corey Body Slam. Shout out to Corey. He said like Finn's in for a singles push in 2026. And if this was just the beginning of it, and they continue to build this up, you got to have something happen with him in Judgment Day. Obviously, there was no Judgment Day to help him there. Once that breakup happens, then I think we're going to be in for like a face major Finn Balor run.
Yeah, but he needs to start winning. Like he's been on the downturn of every match, every storyline, every Judgment Day match. It's like, besides tag team matches, when he's been in singles, I'm curious to know if anyone knows in the chat. I might look it up later just to find out for myself. But when was the last time Finn Balor won a singles match? That wasn't like AAA, right? It wasn't against
Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana. Like, when in WWE was the last time that he won a singles match versus a WWE superstar?
I mean, off the top of my head, I could not think of it. And yeah, no, I couldn't think of it. And actually, I think a better question is, when was the last time he won clean? Because if he has won a singles match, I feel like he's had JD McDonough, Dom, or someone else help him and finish the dirty work off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Finn, I don't know how to explain Finn, because you look at Finn and he's a star. The guy has been a star for a long, long time, going back to NXT. I need to see the Demon. I need them to bring the Demon back out. Once I see the Demon and they're using the Demon properly, that man is not going to lose that title for several months.
And he was on Cody's podcast, and like, even them, like the way he like carries himself, the stories, just how passionate he is. It's like, how I know there's only so many championships to give out, right? There's only so many people you can give the WWE World Championship to, but they had faith in him to put him as the first ever Universal Champion, and you lost faith that quickly? He's been back all this time, and he hasn't had one more WWE or World Heavyweight Championship run? Like, it's insane. And he's so over with the crowd, and like you said, they need to do the Demon thing right. Unfortunately, under Vince, when he sees gimmicks like that, he's like, oh, this is good shit. I'm going to friggin' use this all I can. It's like, all right, dude, calm down. It's a gimmick. It's a demon gimmick. I know you like buried the Fiend. You love that too. But it's just, there's people in WWE that deserve these runs. And I know people like, oh, look at Roman's historic run, 1,000 whatever days. You know what people they could have gave championships to? The Kevin Owenses, the Finn Balors, instead of just letting Roman, hold hostage this championship and not show up half the time. So like, that's what irks me more about, Roman Reigns' huge, run, is that you wasted so many potential championship opportunities for people, for the Drew McIntyres, right? Drew could have been 4 or 5-time champion at this point if they didn't have Roman hold it for that long and just redo Roman and Brock over and over again. Like, that's the shit that really pissed me off. And I know people like, oh yeah, acknowledge him. I hated it for that reason. We lost out on so many potential championship runs that could have made these stars and boosted them to even higher heights than they are right now. But because we had to watch Roman show up randomly and hold the title hostage, we didn't see these things happen.
I think we're going to see Roman Reigns in about 2 weeks at the Royal Rumble, probably win the Rumble. So
yep.
That's just, we both had we both guessed that one. But yeah, I think we're going to see Roman reappear very soon. And just, if you have a fan favorite for the Rumble, just be prepared that you might acknowledge Roman Reigns as your Royal Rumble champion. We have Matt in the chat on YouTube. Exactly, Ty. What's the difference between part-time champions and injured wrestlers who have to vacate the title? I mean,
no difference. I agree. What? So when an injured wrestler who has to be gone for 4 months has to give up the championship for 3 months, they have to give it up. Roman doesn't have to work for 3 months, so he holds on to it. Makes no sense. 0 sense.
Yeah.
I think 1 year he went from WrestleMania defending it to SummerSlam or something like that. That's 4 months. That's insane. Anyone else gone for an injury has to vacate the championship. It makes 0 friggin' sense. 0 friggin' sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not trying to defend anything here, but I'm just trying to be, the devil on the shoulder and give an alternate perspective. When Roman wasn't wrestling every single week, at least he was healthy and he was on TV and he was able to push along storylines.
Was he on TV?
He was there with the whole bloodline saga. Like, he would
Jimmy
disappear.
And Jay were carrying it.
Yeah, he would disappear for like 2 or 3 weeks, but then he can get physical. He can take it. He can give a spear. He can, he can do that type of stuff. When you're injured, I guess you could push along a storyline, but it's kind of hard when your arms in a sling or your legs in a cast. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess it can go both ways, but at least, when you're healthy, yeah, sure, you're not wrestling matches as much, but you can still get physical and push along storylines.
Also, I have an update on my Finn Balor question. I just looked it up. Finn Balor's last televised singles win, January 9th, 2025 versus Dragon Lee. It's been over a year.
Wow.
Since that man has had a singles victory in WWE. Over a year.
Was that match? Did he win that clean? Can we figure? No. Wow. Because that's Judgment Day, obviously. So
yeah,
JD McDonough probably at some point got involved, and it wasn't a clean victory for the man Finn Balor. That's crazy though. Over a year.
Yeah,
that is absolutely insane.
Yeah. So it was not clean.
Yep, there you go.
JD McDonough's involvement played a role in the outcome.
There you go.
He distracted Lee at a key moment, which allowed Balor to recover and hit his coup de grace for the pinfall.
There you go. Literally called it. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. There's just nothing else that can be said about it. Did you want to get into NXT, or you want to save?
I would love to talk about Mariah May and Jada Parker, dude. I am so excited for this. I want them to go to war. They are both badasses. I want to see Mariah May really show up and show her violent side here, because this is where it'll grow. And I can't wait for them to clash. I think we're finally getting a spotlight on Jada, especially if she's feuding with Mariah May. And she just has so much swag, Jada Parker, dude. The whole crowd loves her.
Miss Parker.
Miss Parker. Yeah, I don't get how she hasn't been, NXT Women's Champion at this point. We see JC Jane, but to me, Jada Parker is so much more ready for that championship than this now 2-time NXT Women's Champion JC Jane with Fatal Influence. Like, I want Jada Parker. I want the Lola Vices. Like I said, I want the Kalani Jordans, but at least Kalani and Lola have had opportunities. Kalani was the TNA Knockouts champion. So, like, they're getting these opportunities, and Jada Parker deserves that shit, man. And I hope that after this feud, I know Mariah May should probably come out on top, but I honestly hope Jada does. I think it'll help make Jada look stronger, puts her right at top contention for the NXT Women's Championship. But I know they're really putting the rocket on Mariah May's back.
I was just about to ask you. Like, I know you love Jada Parker, and her return was awesome with the Miss Parker. She's super over. But I mean, we saw what just happened to Mariah. She probably should not have dropped the North American title, and now she's in this whole different universe. Can she lose again? I don't know. Unless the plans are for Jada to go over on her and then Mariah's main roster bound, that could be an outcome. But for some reason, I just don't think that's it. And I think we might be in for Jada coming up a little short in this feud. I could be wrong.
No, I could see it. I know they think the world of Mariah May. You're right. Does she lose again? But maybe this is her punishment. Hey, learn to kick out on time. Like, pay attention in your matches. I don't think that's true. I don't think they're that freaking petty. I think they pivoted where they could. She didn't kick out. The Hale won. Now we have Izzy Game as the North American champion. So, and I think Izzy Game's fighting Lola Vice and isn't a triple threat coming up for her championship? I'm blanking out.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, so I want to see Jada Parker do big things. If not, bring her up to the main roster, right? You brought up Lash Legend to be with Nia Jax. Jada Parker has the swag. She has the promo skills. She has the in-ring ability. She could beat the hell out of people. Like, I'm all for her to do where she needs to. If she loses to Mariah May, it's not the end of the world, but I feel like Jada could benefit more from a win than Mariah would from losing to Jada. Because at the end of the day, Mariah May is still Mariah May.
Were you shocked that? You probably shouldn't be shocked because Ethan Page. But were you shocked that Ethan won?
No. Did
you think Elio LaFleur was gonna come out with his debut and send Ethan to the main roster?
No, Ethan's here to stay. He's going to be the head of NXT for a while. Him and Ricky are looking like they're going to be boys again from back in the day. Ethan's holding some championships. Ethan's happy. He's the man on NXT. He's the face of NXT. And yeah, I didn't think he was losing. I think it's going to be at like Stand and Deliver when he loses finally. I think he's going to hold us into the WrestleMania weekend until he loses that championship. And then maybe he goes to the main roster, but he's so good where he's at. I know, like, I would love for him to move up to the main roster, but he's in such a good place in NXT, and he's someone that is bringing eyes to the product. He's bringing people to want to watch him on NXT, and I don't think you can lose all that. I don't think you want to lose all your key players in one fell swoop to go to the main roster. So keep Ethan on NXT for another year. I'm fine with that. Maybe he'll be fine with that. He's just he's the best person to have there, men wise. In my opinion,
100%. I'm with you.
He's just he is NXT. Everyone wants to fight him. We've seen TNA people come after him, and we've seen his own people come after him, and he always winds up on top. Man, you can't take Ethan Page down.
And listen, you mentioned losing people. They lost a lot of people to free agency, right, to the main roster, but they're trying to show off these up and coming talents from Evolve, and I got to witness a few of them live at NYWC when they did the WWE ID show. So, I mean, I saw Swipe Right. I saw the Vanity Project. I saw all them live. I saw Sean Legacy live. Sean Legacy defeated Eli Knight. I didn't get to see Eli when he was there, but they're all up and coming. They're all from Evolve, and they look great. So, I mean, NXT and Shawn Michaels, they are slowly integrating these new talents from Evolve, if you watch it on Tubi, that are going to be now the mainstays of NXT for at least the next year, 2 years to come. So, I mean, they're doing it right. They're doing it completely right.
Yeah, NXT is just. I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's on a level of its own. It's just a fun watch. They, I feel like Sean has so much more free reign with creative and doing what he wants. And it's how Triple H was when he had full creative reign over NXT, when no one cared about it and he had his own little bubble, right? The black and gold NXT, the things we saw back then was awesome. And this is, what we're getting now. It's a special era in NXT again. It's not that rainbow bullshit that Vince tried to turn it into. That to me was one of the most depressing moments in NXT history. But we did get the people like, Braun Breaker, that awesome Mandy Rose a reign she had until they're like, oh, you're like on OnlyFans. Sorry, there goes your whole great reign, and we're never gonna talk about it again. Which to me is kind of dumb. Give me a break. But yeah, I'm just happy where NXT is right now. I love the characters they have. I'm excited for Tony D'Angelo to maybe become our next NXT Men's World Championship. I'm very excited for that. They look like they're really raring to go with him, and they should be. But I'm curious to know, like, what's his gimmick gonna be? Because we don't really know. We don't, because obviously he's not the Don anymore. He doesn't have a family. So I'm curious to know what his real gimmick is going to be, or if he's just going to be himself, angry, pissed off that he got betrayed, and now he just wants to be champion. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, Tony D, I don't have a grasp on him either yet. He's just kind of just lurking in the background. The spotlight hits him, or he's just out there just messing everybody up. He's just leaving everyone out there, dropping some like flower petals on him and just walking out. He's another one though. I don't see him going up to the main roster anytime too soon. So he's going to be one of those mainstays up on the main event scene for NXT. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up with NXT was I'm thinking we might finally get the turn that we've been waiting for. Right before the main event, or earlier in the show, you saw Azaria go to Sol Rukin saying like, I'm kind of upset that you didn't really support me for that TNA World Title match that I had at Genesis. And then obviously they end up winning. So now they're number one contenders for the TNA Knockout World Tag Team Championships. I think that's where we might see it.
So first off, I'm going to go back to Tony D for a second. That man should be putting fishes or horses' heads next to his beaten down opponent. Just saying. Anyway, I don't know, dude. I feel like they're just going to be together. They might even, I think it's going to go the tag team championships. I get where they're going with the, oh, you weren't there for me, but Sol Ruca was the one that said Zarya should wrestle you for the championship. She's the one that made the match happen. She said, Zarya, take this, you deserve it. So like, I don't get where that kind of, because I feel like this whole thing's a mess. I know we got the thing scrolling at the bottom right now, but I could go on for a bit and I'm not going to. All I'm going to say is this. They're not going to do it. I hope they prove me wrong. I feel like they're going to leave as the Knockout Tag Team Champions, and then we're all going to be annoyed, confused to what the hell is still going on with these two. So that's my take.
You think that they're going to already beat the whatever their hell name, Elegance,
Elegance brand.
Yeah, the Elegance brand.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the only reason the Elegance brand has the titles is because the Iconics or the Inspiration left, and I think they're a transitional champion, and I think they're going to toss the championships to Zarya and Sol Ruca.
Oh man, I hope not. I hope the turn finally happens. And then last thing before we wrap up, I want to know, what are your expectations going into TNA tonight? They have to hit a home run, right? Or do you think they're just going to lose everything?
No, I don't think they're going to lose everything. I think that I don't think necessarily they have to hit a home run, but I think they need to expand more on what they started last week. I think they need to flourish out some storylines. I think they need to garner interest in these storylines. We did see a bunch of, surprise, not returns, but I guess there are some returns, some new superstars, but now make people care about them. Now make people care about these storylines. because if you do, I think they have it with Daria Ray. I think she's going to be a great yin yang to Santino, and that alone excites me to go watch it tonight. But like I said, I don't think they need to hit home run. I think they just need to keep interest, and they need to expand and make people want to come back next week. And if they can get one or two storylines that bring people back or want to bring people back, I think that's fine. And there is the Wrestling Junkies podcast. What up, guys? What up?
What's going on, fellas?
But yeah, I just think that they don't need to hit a home run. They just, because again, it's just TNA, right? You know, they're doing better, especially with this partnership with WWE. I think they just need to bring in interest on a few storylines, and once they do that, they can really start focusing on, you know, their lower tier or mid tiers, the wrestlers. I think Santana is as a draw. If you tease this Nick Nemeth approach every week, I think that's going to garner interest, because you're going to be like, oh, when is he going to call his shot? I think that's kind of an easy way to bring people in. So I think the ball is in their court, but I think they just need to hit a double, not a home run.
Yeah, and just the last, I'm with you. I feel like TNA needs to focus more on the independent. Like, obviously, WWE is locking up a lot of independent talents with the ID program, but I saw it out there on X, like Richard Holiday. He's one of the most over independent wrestlers in the world right now, and TNA has to jump on that. TNA has to jump on these over independent wrestlers, like Bear Bronson. Perfect example.
Yep.
They bring in Bear, friend of the show, and they give him a few matches. Obviously, he wins the number one contendership match. He ends up losing to Frankie.
Yep.
And there's rumors that Bear might be signed with TNA, but then we haven't seen him. So we need to see Bear Bronson start bringing these people in. I don't know. So I'm hoping tonight. Go ahead.
But the one thing that they did do that I really liked is they're bringing back the Feast or Fired, because that is something that gets attention, right? Someone's getting fired. At least someone's getting fired. And then who's getting these opportunities for these championships? So that, to me, alone is a good gimmick to get people interested, to get people involved. You know, it's like Deal or No Deal. It's a game show kind of. And you bring that element into that week. I think it's next week. And if they do it right, and they feast the right people and fire the right people. I don't know if there's ever a right person to fire. Maybe there is. Michael Hayes, sorry, you can screw off. Anyway, I think that's a good gimmick to get people interested. So to me, in my eyes, that's a win right there. That was a good thing to bring back.
Yeah, I feel like the writing's on the wall for Steve Macklin. Steve Macklin's gonna get a briefcase, and it's gonna be fired, and Steve Macklin's gonna set off into the sunset, and there's going to be TNA losing another one of their top talents. Hopefully I'm wrong, but that's just, I feel like the writing is on the wall there. But with that said, we are at the 55-minute mark. Let's go ahead and ring that bell, because this podcast is over. The 10 count is over for the night. Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy TNA tonight. If you're watching it, if you're on the Northeast, stay safe in this crazy snow blizzard, whatever the hell you want to call it, because it's going to apparently get a little crazy over here. Top right corner, you can see the QR code that will bring you to prowrestlingtees.com, and that will bring you to the official merch of the 10 count podcast. You can get a quick count t-shirt or the 10 count shirt. If you purchase a shirt, that would be awesome, because hell, that's just awesome. With that said, thank you all.
I have one more thing. If you bring Justin and I to 100 subscribers by the quick count on Sunday, Justin and I will do a podcast outside in the snow.
Wait, what? No. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But yeah, please get us to 100 subscribers. We are, I believe, 6 away. We are 6 away from 100 subscribers on YouTube. It only takes 2 seconds. Leave a comment. That also helps. But thank you all once again. We will see you all on Sunday, because I'll probably be snowed in. So we'll be here. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy SmackDown on Friday. Enjoy TNA tonight. And we'll see you all on Sunday for the quick count. Until then.